Usually have to dodge traps and fight spiders to see this much old elven stuff. Talk to Isabella if you want to sell any of it. She'll get you a good deal.
Spoken like a veteran treasure hunter.
Yep, for gold and glory. The lords make runs no one else can. Isabella's undies would catch fire if she saw all this.
Bet you deal with a lot of nasty traps during those treasure hunts.
Yep.
What's the most complicated one you've dealt with?
Old elven armory. Had letters on tiles. Probably supposed to spell out the name of a god or something.
Probably?
I don't read elven. Found handholds in the ceiling and swung across.
That sounds more like a puzzle than a trap.
Ugh. Puzzles.
You've got the right idea, going across the ceiling. Varric and I ran into an old elven puzzle once while hunting for Solus. There were these talking statues.
Riddles?
One only lied, one only told the truth, I think.
Ugh. What'd you do?
Varric gave them an autographed copy of his book. Turns out he's really popular in the Fade.
Nice.
So why do the Lords of Fortune care enough about dragons to have a dedicated dragon hunter?
Lots of great old crap ends up in dragon hordes.
Why do dragons care about gathering treasure? It's not like they go to the market.
Dragons like metals and gems. Anything glittery catches their eye.
So they're like really large magpies.
Kinda. And they live for centuries. Lots of time to gather a bunch of shiny crap. Plus all the gear carried by idiots who thought they could kill a dragon.
Feel free to use the ancient elven artifacts for weight training, but nothing leaves with you, okay?
Don't worry about that. The Lords of Fortune aren't thieves.
I mean, aren't you, though?
Nah. Anything we hunt is salvage. Old forgotten ruins and crap. And we make sure we're not screwing over a culture that lost it. That's what my mother does with the Kunari stuff.
How does the Raveni Royal Guard feel about the Lords of Fortune?
They used to complain about us. But that was before the Antam invaded Ravane.
And now Ravane sees the benefits of having a bunch of heavily armed people on their side.
Same for the Pirate Armada. It's bigger than Ravane's official navy. But we're also helping save old artifacts. The Antam are burning ruins as they move south. We get artifacts out before the Antam destroy them. Magical stuff. Cultural stuff. Stuff you don't want to lose.
All right, I guess I'll just leave you here. A treasure hunter, with all the priceless artifacts.
Okay, I was gonna go back to Ravane later. Got a thing to do for my mother. You can come along, if you want.
Do I need to be ready for combat? Or traps?
Nah.
All right, just let me know when.
It is always good to be busy. Keeps you sharp. For me,
Nev, settling back in?
More or less. Lots to catch up on, but when isn't there? I'm ready to get back to work. If we could skip the personal catch-up. Not the day for it.
Take all the time you need. It looks like our boy Hassan is feeling his oats. Or whatever griffins feel.
He's getting the hang of it. When he listens.
He seems to be able to handle himself so far.
You got lucky the Gloomhowler didn't tear you to pieces, boy. You wait for my command. We attack together. Then we can kill stuff like that.
At least he's learning.
The instincts kick in. Griffins see darkspawn and it's a fight to the death. Like wolves hunting deer. Just need to corral it.
Never be a deer. Good to know.
He'd probably leave them alone.
Probably.
You and I see a deer. Maybe he sees venison souffle. Every muscle in him, every talon, every feather, honed into a killing machine. Hassan's ancestors took on archdemons.
Like his name says, he's an arrow.
Half lion, half eagle, with the instincts of both, griffins will always be hunters.
Just like his daddy Davrin.
I suppose we are our nature.
Not sure about that?
Most of my life I've hunted the darker things in the world. But caring for a griffin? What do I know about that? Yet here I am.
That's not so bad, is it?
Not the path I expected. Makes me wonder about Hassan, his brothers and sisters. Still young, pure.
You're worried?
I'm responsible for the future of every griffin alive. I want it to be a good one. These animals live to fight, but I wonder if there's another path for them.
I don't know. That's like asking a fish to crawl on land. It might work at first, but it's not going to end well.
Fair point. Griffins are darkspawn hunters at heart.
This one sure takes after his dad.
Parents. A scary word. I'm supposed to be his bodyguard.
What do you think you've been doing this whole time?
Trying to ignore it. If I get myself killed by a Hurlock, that's on me. If it's Hassan, I just don't want to mess it up.
I think that's where trust comes in. That Turlum idea you keep talking about. Trust Hassan to find his way. Don't force things.
He's headstrong.
Good thing you are too.
Right. Thanks for the chat.
I can't believe it. We're meeting after all those letters. It's an honor, Professor Emmerich. What should I call you? I mean, with everything you've done, it feels strange to just call you Emmerich.
Emmerich is fine, please. We're not in a classroom after all. Far less predictable.
Okay, Emmerich. Right. I might call you Professor Emmerich sometimes.
Hey, you heard of the Hall of Valor? It's a fighting arena with the Lords.
Interesting.
Just tell me when you're ready.
Oh no. Where is everyone? What did the Venatori do to the Shadow Dragons?
Ed. Doubt the Shadow Dragons would welcome Venatori into their safe house.
Look around. We might find answers.
Killings. This is...
What a devastating sight.
Please, if the Archon was really dead,
So, Emric, you're a Mortalitasi.
Mortalitasi is a general term. I belong to the Morn Watch.
But you are.
Well struck! Let's continue our discussion. Mortalitasi is a general term. I belong to the Morn Watch.
But you are a necromancer.
Yes, certainly.
More executions? Alos, how are you?
Huh? Glad to be alive.
After the dragon attack, I wanted to check in.
Appreciate it.
Hey, Rook. And now a dragon. What's happening to this?
Why did Morgan want to meet in Minrathous? Isn't she helping the Veiljumpers in Arlathan?
Indeed. But today we have a guest, and she needed the anonymity that only a city provides.
Well, look who it is.
Good to see you, Lace.
Rook, you remember how Varric and I served the Inquisition? Well, this is Inquisitor Trevelyan, the woman who led us all.
Trevelyan. Isn't that the name of a noble family down in the south?
Yes. I remember the days before the Inquisition, when Trevelyan family politics were the most complicated part of my life. Simpler times.
I fear that simpler times are like to remain a memory, for now.
Morrigan and Harding have told me about what you've accomplished since taking over for Varric. You've put together an impressive team, and you've got the best chance, maybe the only chance, to stop Elganon and Gillenane.
Sounds like I'm cleaning up your mess.
Rook.
No, Harding. This is my mess.
The Inquisition sealed the breach and stopped Corypheus. We saved the world.
We also left southern Thedas vulnerable to Kunari invasion, as the Exalted Council showed.
But the Inquisition didn't start the Mage Rebellion. We didn't start any of this.
We did our best, but our best had consequences. When those consequences became apparent, I disbanded the Inquisition rather than let it turn into something someone else had to stop. Too many leaders claim credit while avoiding responsibility. I won't be one of them. So, Rook, I am asking you to help me clean up my mess.
Okay.
And while you do so, Rook, the Inquisitor will do her best to ensure that the rest of the world remains intact. A daunting prospect, given that most of the South is under siege by Darkspawn.
It's that bad?
If not for the Inquisitor, the South would have collapsed completely. She has not been idle while you assembled your team.
I thought the gods were mostly active up here. It's really that bad in the south?
Elganon and Gillenane have indeed restricted their activities to the north. But the forces they deployed to the south, the strange new Darkspawn, have spread fear and corruption greater than any blight in history.
Darkspawn have cut through the center of Orlais. Valrorio and Halam Shiral are barely holding out. Ferelden would have fallen already, if not for help from Orzammar. With Denerim lost, the Fereldans are holding the line at Redcliffe. The Free Marches have the worst of it. Acting Viscount Aveline Valen led the evacuation of Kirkwall. She's taking her people and what's left of her army to help Prince Vale keep Starkhaven.
Maker, we didn't know. My ma...
Don't worry. I called in a favor with the Divine. Your mother's safe with some old friends.
Thank you.
The Inquisition might be gone, but my name still carries some weight. I've used it to get people working together where they can. Again, the South is my problem, not yours, Rook. You stop the gods, and I'll make sure the rest of Thedas doesn't fall to the Blight.
If the south is in such turmoil, why come up here just to talk? And how did you get here so fast?
Did you think you were the only one to unlock the secrets of the Illuvians?
Morgan helped the Inquisition use the Illuvians to travel.
While I lack the Dreadwolf's Viravus, I may still scurry between the walls of this world to be where I might do the most good. The Inquisitor asked to meet you, and I thought it might help you to meet her.
What I really need right now is information. If you have anyone who can help.
I'm sorry. The only reliable sources of information I have up here are Morrigan, Dorian, and Harding.
All of whom are already helping us. I understand.
The Inquisitor did not come all this way to leave you with empty words, however. She brought something no one else could.
A wolf statuette. We've found others like it in the crossroads. Where'd you find yours?
I found it right around the time Solus's ritual failed, when he was pulled into the Fade. We've examined the magic, and it's tied to the Veil. To him. Somehow.
Solus is ancient, and his magic is part of him in a way far beyond that of mortals. I suggest you take it to the crossroads and see if something in the lighthouse calls to it. Perhaps it will yield some insight into your new ally.
Right now, Solus is giving us the information we need to track down the gods.
Yes, he is a vital source of information and advice, just as he was to the Inquisition before. He is the Dreadwolf. He led a rebellion that lasted centuries. How many alliances do you think he has made and broken?
I considered Solus a friend. I'd hoped to convince him to see reason. It's too late for that now. But still, if this can give you some insight, help you understand him, whatever it turns out to be, I hope that it helps.
We should go, Inquisitor. The armies in the south need you.
Right. Harding, stay sharp. You're my eyes in the north.
Always, Inquisitor.
Rook, good luck. If I come across anything else that can help, you'll be the first to know.
Thank you.
Can I get you something?
Oh, I'm sure it's lovely, but I avoid meat.
I got oil the fish hasn't touched. You want fried bread with herbs?
That sounds marvelous. Thank you.
You're always running off somewhere, aren't you?
From one fire to the next. All good here?
Just doing my job.
I wasn't expecting to see a resurgence of the Venatori. Venatori, shadow dragons. All they do is make things complicated to the rest of us.
Rook, welcome to the Hossberg wetlands. I'd say make yourself comfortable.
I could sense blight before we were through the Illuvian. What's happening?
That's the question, isn't it? Oh, one of them.
The blight's always a problem in the Anderfels. It's not strange to find a corrupted patch of forest or swamp.
What is strange is the sudden surge of blight through the Hossberg wetlands. Much like the village you found, the blight here struck too quickly, and in strange forms.
It's choked the whole area, and the local village, Lavendel, was caught in it. But they're survivors. We can be grateful for that.
How many people are here? We need to help them.
Of course. FK and I are doing what we can.
So you keep your eye on the big picture for now.
As far as we can tell, the gods you're chasing weren't here directly.
If the blight's really changed, then the changes are widespread. As for how much?
I can almost sense something in there. Another sound under the blight's usual song.
Sensing the blight is one thing. What you're saying is concerning.
When we met, you tried to block the sound out. Now you hear too much.
If it helps, that's what we're here for.
Okay, this all sounds awful, and we're standing in the middle of it, which is normal for me.
We know.
So what's the plan?
We heard rumors of the surge here and volunteered to investigate. The first warden expects a report. Soon.
If we want proof the blight's changed, then this place is where to find it.
But the way the blight left the village, we've had our hands full just keeping it back and helping the sick.
You need more to study.
Yes. The odd growths the blight has formed, like boils, they surround Lavendel. I need more samples.
Samples. That's going to be gross. That's probably the best word for it.
Probably. Just be careful.
You know me.
Last time we met, you dropped a building on a pack of darkspawn.
You might know me too well.
Get back when you can.
All right, let's find those boil samples. Looks like there's caves on the far side of the village.
You've been to the farmlands. There's a family, Voss. I'm close with them, with Ursa. They spoke of the blight. Blight, before all of this happened. They knew. But if they knew, why aren't they here?
If I find anything, I'll let you know. Lavendale Village. Whatever happened here looks like Demetta's Crossing.
But there are survivors.
There. That's our blight boil. Got a sample. I'm guessing they'll need more than one.
Multiple samples improve the accuracy of any study. Unpleasant though the gathering process may be. We've company. Shelter from the dead.
Got the sample.
Mierda. As a spirit mage, Emmerich, you must sense spite.
I'm sorry that you two came together under such unjust circumstances. My sympathies.
You can hear spite, even when it doesn't take me over.
Darkspawn. Everyone ready? Everyone all right?
I'm certainly glad to have a warden with us.
What were we talking about? You can hear spite, even when it doesn't take me over?
This close, yes.
I am so sorry.
Every one of these gets us a little farther. Got it.
The Mera's crossing. Now this. If this is a window into what the gods can do with the Blight. Ready when you are.
This farmland.
My word, you're right.
I hate to be on their side.
Check out the ballista. Could be useful.
Rook, are you looking for an excuse to fire that thing?
An ogre.
Is he mad about the boils, or just mad in general?
We need to stop it. It's down.
Is everyone intact?
And another sample.
That must be enough for an analysis.
Yeah. Let's get back to Evka and Antoine.
Targets ahead.
This Echo made promises and then... Do you think it took them all? Oh. A well. Well. An Echo? 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 That's not my voice. Not your voice.
Are you all right?
I'm not.
Yeah?
Another day.
Antoine? Antoine!
Yes? Yes, the blight samples. They're like nothing we've seen, or anything in the Warden records. And Rook? I believed you, but to hear it? I almost hear voices in it. The gods calling the blight.
We knew things were bad. But if the blight's being called, the situation's more unpredictable than we thought. We need to...
I give you two reign, and this is where it leads. Chasing Rook's lies.
First Warden,
You were told to stay away. Or does your allegiance to us no longer matter?
Of course it does. Fighting the Blight matters. That's why I'm here.
You're here for your ego, not for us.
Rook knew something was wrong.
I can hear it in the samples. The gods. She's telling the truth. The blight has changed. And that changes everything.
It changes nothing. Your sensitivity to blight is useful, Warden Antoine. But you've had more than one snake in your ear.
I took the same vows as you. We're on the same side.
You're on thin ice. You tampered with a ritual that unleashed Blight. You did not know what you were doing then, and you don't now.
If gods control the Blight, we need to change how we approach it.
Archdemons control Blight, and we'd sense if one had risen. We'd make the sacrifices needed to fight it.
But we...
The Blight has increased. Now is not the time to lose focus. Wardens Evka and Antoine, are you sworn to combat the Blight?
Yes, but...
Then report back to Weishaupt and do so.
That went poorly, even for a talk with him.
I'm a warden. I know what I'm doing. Why won't he listen?
You're a good warden. And don't catch yourself thinking otherwise.
Maybe. But I need the Order's help.
There's you, Davrin, me, and Antoine. We make it work with the four of us. You and Davrin work with your new friends. Antoine and I will track Darkspawn and the Blight.
In so-called peace, vigilance. If we learn the gods' plans, you will too.
The elven god of monsters had been hard at work. She'd taken the Darkspawn and made them so much worse. Now, she and Elgarnon had their glorious new army. The risen gods were ready. And they had just the target.
We should take a break. Back to the lighthouse for a bit.
He finally agrees to meet for a report, then he all but calls you a liar.